na ịga Onitsha ọwụ ndị Osina nwe Okporoko, ga Aba Osina nwe Okporoko, ga Lagos, other state ndị ọzọ ebe nwere Stockfish dealers market Osina na-achị na ya. So enweghị ndị ọzọ, you can go there ahụ onye ọzọ obodo ọzọ na-ere ulu Stockfish dealers na market onye Osina. So kiwe man only has specialized.
So you run a market, let's say Okporoko now.
Yeah.
So the chairman of onye Osina.
Onye Osina.
You mean the river?
Yes.
So there are
Ga Aba the same thing. Aba the same thing. Ga Lagos the same thing.
Harachinda Abiriba?
Yes.
Abiriba bidoria.
But Osina na-achị ya, ịga Aba ugbu a. Go and make their finding. Ga ịga hụ na Osina na-achị ebe ahụ.
This man was a stockfish legend. He traded in stockfish and he made name. From history, I learned he served an Abiriba man. I can't remember the name, but the man was so highly favored. He took this trade to a higher height. In fact, history has it that this man, of all the people, he was singled out by the Norwegian government as one African man that boosted the economy of the Norwegian government. You know, he gave them so much money to do fish for him that the Norwegian government found it very difficult to, fulfill the agreement. I don't know whether they fulfilled it before he died. And I learned they made a statue of him somewhere in Norway. Yeah. This man sponsored one governor, Governor Sam Mbakwe, the popular Governor Sam Mbakwe. He was the one that gave him money for his campaigns and all that. He sponsored him single-handedly. And when Sam Mbakwe came to power, he compensated him. He gave him a commissioner. He gave him Sam Mbakwe, in fact, aided the development of Osina through that man.
Ihe ji mara ndị Osina as a business. Okporoko, enwere aka ọkwa efere, uru ala, stationary obodo ukwu, building material. So to Osina ihe ji mara ha Stockfish dealers.
Hello guys, this is K2 Law TV. We are live and direct in Osina, Ideato North local government of Imo State. And Osina is a land blessed by God. We are here to tell the places about our great legends. So, last time we went to Abiriba, we read some documentation there about Okporoko, stockfish, and many people were saying, oh, it's originated from this great town, Osina, and we were laughing because what you don't know is more than you. We are here to continue about this history. Do you know the reason why we are here? Many people believe that Osina people are the people who who introduce Okporoko beer, that is stockfish, but it's not that way. So I must say the first person that introduced Okporoko, that is a stockfish business in this Osina, he served a man from Abiriba. Yeah, but you cannot take away that Okporoko, Osina are doing really well in Okporoko currently. So originally, the first person that introduced Okporoko in the whole Africa is from Abiriba. Then, when you come to Osina, there's a man who introduced it here, and we're here to tell the story. That is late Chief Nze G or Iheaku. Omenkeaghuruanya I of Osina. I know late Chief Onwadike. You are the first person who contract with Industrialization to sell this Okporoko in this town. And many people from this town begin to deal in that business. And they are doing massively well. If you go to Onitsha currently, you know that Osina are the main people who are selling Okporoko. Do you understand? So, but where it originated from is Abiriba. We are here to tell the history. Let's go around and show you Osina. So, if you look Osina is very lively. Look at it. This is just you see everything is going. People are loading. Okara people, business are going on, and we find out that everywhere is. If you come here in the night, everywhere is like London. Do you know the reason why? Every corner of Osina is blessed. Like they put street lights, and there is courts of someone. That is how Obodo developed. And let's go and we'll show you Osina today. Understand?
Yeah, my name is Evangelist Uzoma. I'm from Osina. By the grace of God, I'm the Palace Secretary to the traditional ruler of Osina community, His Royal Majesty Eze O.S.Ben Igwilo III, Eze Diorama I, Eze Osina the 15th of Osina, the former chairman, Ideato North Council of Eze, and the former secretary, Imo State Council of Eze, and the former assistant secretary, Southeast Council of Eze. Yeah. Osina is a wonderful community God has designated in its location. This community, Osina, had two brothers named Umaloma and Uzi. Of course, Uzi was the first in the lineage, that is the firstborn, seconded by Umaloma, and then Osina was the lastborn. But as history had it, Osina was most favored of them all to have inhabited his father's, Ishiobi, and God has bestowed so much on Osina, even though we lived in the midst of seeming enemies, what we can call enemy, because in the past there were wars, inter-communal wars, and Osina was situated in the midst of warring people, but God spared Osina from all these incursions, and here we are today. Osina is known for self-help and self-effort, in the history, it is there that the first community that engaged in self-help development, like sinking of borehole and um, electricity, was Osina community. In fact, Osina has been a model that other communities look up to in the area of self-help development, and we have continued like that, you know. And this community has been blessed with some very wonderful individuals that made the name of Osina sound so high. In fact, they launched Osina into the open, into the international community. Somebody like Chief F.I. Onwadike, Omere I, Osisi Ami Ego of Igboland, and you can go ahead and name, he had so many titles. This man was a stockfish legend. He traded in stockfish and he made name. From history, I learned he served an Abiriba man. I can't remember the name, but the man was so highly favored. He took this trade to a higher height. In fact, history has it that this man, of all the people, he was singled out by the Norwegian government as one African man that boosted the economy of the Norwegian government. He gave them so much money to do fish for him that the Norwegian government found it very difficult to, fulfill the agreement. I don't know whether they fulfilled it before he died. And I learned they made a statue of him somewhere in Norway. Yeah. This man sponsored one governor, Governor Sam Mbakwe, the popular Governor Sam Mbakwe. He was the one that gave him money for his campaigns and all that. He sponsored him single-handedly. And when Sam Mbakwe came to power, he compensated him. He gave him a commissioner. He gave him Sam Mbakwe. In fact, aided the development of Osina through that man. He did so much, you know. In the past, during the political era of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, all of them, Zeke, Mbakwe, just name Abike Okafor, all of them were coming to Osina and they were dining and wining in his house at Aba. That was how popular that man was. So great. So great. And then we have his contemporaries like Nze Dr. G. Iheaku. This was his brother. They live very adjacent to each other. You see this man's house, you see the other one's house, you know. This F.I. Onwadike Island took Nze Dr. G. Iheaku the first time to either Norway or Iceland. In fact, he showed him the way, and that one has also taken the stockfish business to a higher height, a very higher height, you know. It has a standardized business that still flows up to today. His children have taken over, and they are doing very, very excellently well. Also, the children of Chief F.I. Onwadike, late Chief F.I. Onwadike, all of them are doing very well, you know, doing the father's footsteps, you know. So, and then there was this spirit of competition that prevailed amongst him and his contemporaries. We had the likes of Ferdinand Anagara Aturuala doing great, you know. This man brought a whole lot of industries at Uruala. He cited oil industries, palm kernel industries, rubber industry, just name it. So many of it. In his fatherland, he brought all of them down home. There was electricity then. We had 24-hour power supply then, but then after some time, all these things went down the drain. We lost the light. There was this um, development of insecurity and all that, and then some of the people that were taking care of the industries left. You know, there was this Akibono. There was this company at Isiokpo, Akibono. Akibono was a Taiwanese company. They traded on spare parts, motorcycle spare parts, and at the point that land, they wanted to begin to do, build machines, manufacture machines down there, so that their customers from far and near could be coming down to Isiokpo to buy machines from Isiokpo. And you can tell what a development that would have brought around here. By that time, these people were sinking boreholes, doing the roads that led to the factory, giving scholarships, you know. But this issue of power outage and insecurity drove these people away. They left. That place is overgrown with bushes now. So pathetic, you know. So Osina is a symbolic as a community. It was said that Osina was the first settlers in this place. You know, there is what we call Mbanasa. There were 7 notable communities that made up the original Ideato. They were called the Mbanasa. You have Osina number 1, being the first that settled before others came. Osina, Uruala, Oboduku, Apolo, Akokwa, Umaloma, Uzi. 7 of them before some of the autonomous communities, the emergence of some of the autonomous communities, you know. So Osina is the number 1 in the whole of Ideato North. Ask anybody. So Osina has a rich history that cannot be quickly forgotten, and Osina is blessed with a lot of wonderful materials in the form of human capacity, you know. Yeah. We, like I was saying something about the stockfish trade for which Osina was known. If you go to Onitsha, you will know that Osina is great and Osina is legendary in that business. We are known for that all over the world. At Onitsha, Osina had, they built a market, stockfish market. They are in charge of it till tomorrow. If you get there, if you see the board inscription, Osina Stockfish Market at Onitsha. And I think at Aba, they are leading also in the stockfish. Everywhere you go, in Lagos, everywhere you go, we are known for that. And there was another trade for which we were known in the past, and I think some people are still maintaining that business. That is the tire business. We are known with the tire business also. Our people in Benin, Warri, they trade on tire and they lead in that business, you know. So Osina is just a wonderful community. There is a crop of young people that began to do things in Osina, very wonderful things. In fact, we had a PG, a President General, that just left office few days or few weeks ago, just on the 8th of August. I was in the ESCO, I was the assistant secretary to his government. His name is Nze Chief Ejagu. We call him our digital PG, a very young man in his late 40s, but he did surprisingly well. You know, he he brought the youths into focus. He brought the youth into action. And a lot of them came out and began to do wonderful things in the community. So his leadership made Osina even greater. Despite distractions. There is no way you can live without distractions. We know there is this problem of autonomous community. There is this problem about autonomous this, autonomous that, and then the litigations that come along with it. But this guy navigated these 6 years, and he never let those distractions to stand in the way of his focus. And he achieved so greatly. There are people that have. There is one guy that brought. You talked about street lighting. There is this guy, Engineer Ken Olisakwe. He brought this street light, and it is going round Osina. If you come to Osina in the night, you won't believe it. You would think that you are in US, because you can see very clearly. Now, Engineer Ken brought light, the street light, solar powered street light, and there is this other man, Chief Onwadike. He also brought some street lights, and then there are some other guys. There is this guy that did road, Mr. Nnamdi Ofonagoro, pharmacist. Nnamdi Ofonagoro. He did road, one of the roads. There are quite a lot of them, we have a lot of progressives in the community who are trying to change the narratives, Yeah. And then there are upcoming ones that are, wanting to do one thing or the other. There are a lot of them. We have the Osozachi, yeah. There is what we call the Osozachi in Osina. This is an assemblage of progressives in the community. They help the Eze, the they are part and parcel of the cabinet. They empower the people during our AYG festival, like the one that just ended on the 3rd, because our AYG festival is normally on the 3rd of August. Every 3rd of August, this Great Osozachi, made up of youths, just youths. They empower the youths, empower the indigents, both widows and like this last one that just ended. They brought 3 minibuses, you know, and empowered people with them. They started with motorbikes, and then today they have gone a little further to bring minibuses, shared rice, bags of rice to indigents, shared money. It was such a wonderful occasion, in the community. So we are grateful to God and to them for the legacy they have put forth in the community, and other communities come around to actually see what they're doing and emulate. Now you have the Isiala Osina is the people that actually see to the keeping of the customs and traditions. They make peace in the community. They are next to the Eze, directly next to the Eze. They keep the community and make sure nothing goes amiss, as much as they could. So, Osina is blessed with a whole lot of human capacity, and we thank God for it, and we believe that in the nearest future, many more wonderful things will emerge from the community. In politics, we have our people there also. We have budding politicians that in the nearest future we believe God will position them perfectly, But I won't go on to mention them now because of time. Maybe in the next round we may have time to talk about those ones. Yeah. The problem of insecurity has been so hyped. People are hyping it, adding legs and hands to it. We are secure. Osina is secured. This is God's own place. You hardly can you see these insurgencies and all that in this place. It's just once in a very long while, you know. So what I'm telling our people everywhere in the world is that Osina is secured, and we have diaspora branches. Even if you can't come home, you can still do something. A lot of people hide under that guise, and they fail to bring, their resources down home, either for their personal development or for the development of the community. But it's a wrong notion, because there are so many ways to kill a rat. But what I'm saying in a nutshell is that Osina is secured. God is here, and God is keeping this community.
Afam bụ Ifeanyi Ibagwa. I'm from Osina.
Okay. So, kọwara anyị mago na-abịa n'Osina dịka anyị bịara Osina fụ na Osina is a great town. Ifede. Ịbịagodo n'abalị ebe a ịfụ na Ifede ebe niile. So ma anyị na-eme documentary gbasara ife ndị be unu eji wee mara ndị be unu. Because abịa na Okporoko a na-abụ everyday consumption. Onye ọbụla na-eri ya ma onye ukwu ma onye nta. Unu nwa so na-eme ya ka ọ na-eru onye ọbụla aka. So that's why we are here. So kedu ndị a megesịrị ya nke unu si eme? Maka na ife ọbụla nwere ndị nwe. And being onye Osina, can you emphasize about it?
Okay, thank you so much. Osina wụ obodo ama ọfụma na-azụ ahịa, more especially in stockfish dealers. Abia number like Onitsha, Aba, and so many places like Lagos. On Osina na-eruru n'Okporoko. Ihe eji mara ndị Osina as a business wụ Okporoko. Iji other areas enwere aka ọkwa efere, uru ala, stationary obodo ukwu, aka ọkwa stationary obodo ukwu, building material. So to Osina ihe eji mara ha wụ stockfish dealers. So most of them enwere people ndị dị into it. Mmadụ dịka Sajie na Iheaku.
Okay.
Igwe Onwadike and ndị be Ofonagoro and rest of them. Ụmụaka be anyị niile. If you go to Onitsha, you ga-ahụ ebe nwere stock villa market nọ n'Owerri road. On the buy neighbor, nobody can come there and rule them. Also ndị Osina nwe. So Osina nwere ihe and ha wụ ndị na-agbasi mbọ ike ibe n'obodo Osina we a strong people. A na-akpọ ha Osina ala ike. On the nwa ihe ha na-eme. Ụmụaka ha na-agbasi mbọ ike na-akpata ego. Ndị be anyị anaghị ezu ori. Onye be anyị na-gara zuo ori ọbara ọgwụ ego anaghị survive. So Osina awụ obodo ama ama dị strong. So ha ji business kpọrọ ihe. So in this town, anyị na-agbalịsi ike ịhụ na onye ọbụla banyere n'ọrụ ị na-azụ ahịa, more especially zụpụta ihe kpọrọkwa mmadụ tinye. Anyị obodo na-eji eji nwanne emere nwanne tinye ihe ka ọ wee na-aga aga. So what I'm telling you in fact, obodo a ihe eji mara ha ahịa ịzụ ahịa okporoko. E nwekwara some business ndị be anyị ndị ọzọ na-acha, but mainly okporoko ihe ha na-azụ. Thank you.
Okay, so ndị mmadụ na some people they feel no ndị Osina different izizi zụrụ ya na Igbo. So then, do you know anything about it?
Ndị be anyị wụ okporoko. Apụtara m wụrụ onye Osina na-anụ na Osina wụ okporoko ka ha na-azụ. So ndị niile bidoro zụwa ya, most of them agụchala, but still ụmụ ha na ndị ha zụpụta ka nọkwa n'okporoko. Ọ ya ka o ji wee wụrụ na ịga Onitsha ọwụ ndị Osina nwe okporoko. Ga Aba Osina nwe okporoko. Ga Lagos, other steeti ndị ọzọ ebe nwere Stockfish dealers market Osina na-achị na ya. So oke a ka m maara na Osina mgbe m pụtara Osina awụ ndị ha nwe okporoko. So enweghị ndị ọzọ ị ka m go dị ahụ onye ọzọ obodo ọzọ na-eru ulu Stockfish dealers na market ọ onye Osina. So kiwe man on ha specialize.
So you know na market let's say okporoko now.
Yeah.
So na chairman fa onye Osina.
Onye Osina.
You mean the river?
Yes.
So ada abaya.
Ga Aba the same thing.
Aba kwa?
Aba Ga Aba the same thing. Ga Lagos the same thing.
Harachinda Abiriba?
Yes.
Ọkwa na Abiriba bidoro ya.
But Osina na-achị ya ịga Aba ugbu a. Go and make their finding. Ga ịga hụ na Osina na-achị ebe ahụ. Gaa Onitsha. The current chairman ha wee Emeka Odum with the chairman. So go investigate and find out. Ịga ebe a niile 70 or 80% of ihe nọ n'ahịa ahụ ndị Osina. Enwere some ndị mba nọ na ya. But 70-80% of ihe nọ n'ime ahịa ahụ ndị Osina. So mgbe a dị 70 out of 100, 70 na-achị. 70 n'ime ahịa onye definitely ọ dị onye obodo ga-achị.
So kedu ife ndị na-azụ ala kedu ife nwere n'obodo ọ na-wee nakata esi yes na Nze G na ndị bụ na-azụ ahịa.
Adị m happy. Ekele dị Chineke na ndị be anyị na-azụ ya because ha na-asụpụta ihe. Ndị ọzọ na-emitete ịga ihe dị ka aka ọkwa anaghị onye ihe ha na-azụ ahịa efere. Ị gaghị aga ebe a achịwa ha. Ọkwa onye aka ọkwa na-achị na-achị n'ahịa efere. O nwekwara ndị villages ndị nọ na ya. Pọta onye aka ọkwa bụ chairman ahịa efere n'aka ọkwa. The same thing na Uruala ndị na-azụ stationary. So ọkwa onye Uruala. So ekele dị Chineke na nke awụ nke anyị and anyị na-maintain ya and ọ na-agara ya ebe a.